Hello, hello. You can't quite see me, can you? Well, let me quickly shoot this guy so you can see me clearer. Yeah, guess it or guess not, this is actually a post-production commentary. I have recorded live commentary to what I've recorded in gameplay, but my stupid headset keeps effing this up whenever I record. So, in order not to waste a good video, which I had fun making and I really wanted to put out there, I'm just gonna add some backup commentary here because I really don't want to throw this away. I could just re-record it, and I may actually end up doing that, but we're just gonna see how it goes with the background commentary. If I find it good, I'll keep it, and if not, then I'll re-record this video, whatever. It's like, I've time now. Currently I'm on vacation, so I'm quite enjoying that. Hope you guys are doing well as well. No, you never know. Dog meat sadly isn't, he's still working, so we don't have this much time making videos together. But you know, so I'm just covering right now. We really hope we can, though. We still have the podcast that we recorded. I want to put out. I generally find it pretty entertaining. Maybe that's just because I know us, and that's why it's funny to me. Anyways, we gotta talk about Battle Engie today. I've gone off track so far already. Battle Engie. We're gonna talk about the Widowmaker first. The best gun for me personally. The Widowmaker is an amazing item. It's Engie has a lot of limits, and the stock shotgun is basically your average stock weapon. It's just the best overall. It works best, however, when people are approaching you. It's a very strong shoot them when they approach you weapon in my eyes. It's not so strong when approaching somebody yourself, because oftentimes you want people to come closer to you in order to fire and kill them instantly, and while you can also try to do that on offense, you might end up wasting too many clips when approaching somebody yourself, so it will overall end up being a bit hard to kill them. The Widowmaker says fuck you to that by just giving you medal for shooting people, and it's really good. It's also the advocate for the most useless bonus damage, which is 10% when your sentry is firing upon somebody. Yeah, that's stupid. The Widowmaker is really good. I really enjoy using the Widowmaker. It's great for storming people. It can get you to high kill streaks, and it's, for me personally, it's straight up the weapon that really pushes Engie to his very limits of what is able to be accomplished with fragging, and what is not able to be accomplished in fragging. Because, like I said, it's just really strong. It has the same damage output as the stock shotgun. Spread, I have no proof of this. Spread seems to be different. This might be that random bullet spread is enabled on the Widowmaker, and that's why it seems a bit different. A change that I would support. I don't think there's anything on the stats, as much as I know. But yeah, as you know, the stock shotgun, it does have random bullet spread, which sometimes can mess with your aim a bit. Which is another reason why it's sometimes a bit less good. I think the Widowmaker doesn't, but even if the spread is a bit more reliant, it's a bit less random. It's pretty good actually. You should try it out. It's a really cool weapon. With the Widowmaker, you can just approach people more. You can get in fights more, get higher kill streaks, kill more people, be more effective as just Battle Engineer. While the stock is better for playing a bit more collective, calm, and shooting people when they approach you. Like I said before, it's really not this good. I found when you, and I've played this class for quite long. I've put in a lot of thinking into how to be more effective as Battle Engie and how Battle Engie can be the most effective. So I think I have a bit of a different view than a lot of people. A lot of people seem to just say, oh, Gunslinger, he's a Battle Engie, or oh, Mini Sentry, Battle Engie, or oh, I shoot people with shotgun, Battle Engie. To be fair, that's for me the definition. But Battle Engie for me isn't just Gunslinger or anything. It's a playstyle that you can adapt. It doesn't really depend on loadout. There are other wrenches you can use to adapt this sort of playstyle. The Gunslinger supports it, and the Widowmaker makes it even more reliable when just shooting people in my eyes. because like I said, it's the bullet game ammo bag is this huge. You can just go on massive tears with this weapon in theory. It's really, really awesome that they added the side crate to the engineer, and it makes me think that Battle Engie isn't something they were never thinking about. I do really think that they thought of this before. So yeah, the Widowmaker is, oh, it's beautiful. I don't think there is anything. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the bonus damage. As you can see, it has a 10% bonus damage when your sentry is firing upon a target that you are also firing upon. So basically, your sentry shoots somebody, you shoot it, you get more damage. Useless buff in the first place because your sentry is shooting at somebody. The only reason, and guessing which update this was added, yeah, you guessed it, to meet your shit. Basically, Melf saw from data, oh look, nobody builds sentries, let us give it, with the Widowmaker, let us give it a damage bonus so people build more sentries. Completely not understanding that the reason people don't build minis or sentries overall with the Widowmaker is because you attack people with it, and just not getting it at all. To be fair, you should still build sentries and building some with the Widowmaker, but you know, Valve didn't understand what the weapon is all about still. And then there's also the 10%. You want to know how big of a difference this 10% really makes? It makes 9 damage if you hit your maximum damage. I once did the math, I don't quite know it now because I don't have in my head anymore what's the minimum amount of damage that the stock shotgun can do. But basically, at max, this damage bonus gives you 9 plus damage. Do I even have to mention how bloody useless a 99 or 100, if you round it up, 100 hit is supposed to a 90 hit? These 10 damage points do not make a single difference. It's pointless and stupid. Yeah, a quick rant there aside. Apart from this, the Widowmaker is perfect. I did quickly shit talk it a bit. But like I said, the stock shotgun really and if you're starting out, I use this thing. It is great for punishing people who are overextending into you. It is great for approaching people as well. It's just that when you start getting a bit more knowledge about the subclass, you'll start finding this a bit less reliant when approaching people. You can still use it. You can bait people with the pistol, you can use your pistol or even a short circuit when you're fighting a soldier to cover your ground a bit more, to basically get closer to them and then meat shot them. But overall, it's a bit less reliant. It's the most reliant in every situation, but in approaching, it can be less good than the Widowmaker. It can also be better, because if you miss your shots, you're not running out of ammo constantly. But you know, this is the best thing for the more collective engineer, the one that also builds mini sentries, that fights a bit more around his sentries, or the one that just overall tries to bait people a bit into attacking him without much thought, and then killing them, and yeah, it's like I said, it's generally the most well-rounded weapon, which makes sense because it's the stock shotgun. I always felt like it showed that it was a secondary for other classes. I feel like you can kind of see with this weapon that it's not intended to be a primary in some primary weapon, using it as a primary weapon situations. I think it's the perfect primary for Engie right away. I love this thing to death, and I think it's the best weapon. It's my favorite weapon, apart from the Widowmaker overall in the game. But I just feel like it sometimes shows in battle situation that this other class is considered as a secondary, so you're kind of limited in that regard already. The Widowmaker then again does a good job at exploiting this and saying, no, I will fight the soldier and I will do it, and I will do it with style and win. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, they both round each other off pretty well. So the stock shotgun, as we mentioned, being the good balance between a sentry focused and a non-sentry focused playstyle for Battle Engie. Would be a shame if we don't get into the third option that you can have. The third option would be the Frontier Justice, of course. We love the Frontier Justice around here. Don't we all? Frontier Justice is awesome. You can get crits for building your sentry. I find myself not using this gun this much anymore because of this reason. Because you play more around your sentry, and if I haven't mentioned it yet, I'm a big fan of being unreliant on anything. I know playing Engie and wanting to have that makes a lot of sense to probably a lot of people, and rightfully so. But that's just how I am. I think it's more fun to not be reliant in casual mode on anyone, especially not your teammates, because that's just you might as well be reliant on the random pricks in that case. I mean, there's generally some moments where the team works very well together, and I love that. But you know, there's also the other moments. Half the reason why the whole reason why I play CDF so often nowadays is just because I've stopped caring for serious matches, because they never play out in a way where I'm like, oh cool, look, we did it, we teamed up. It's always like, oh cool, look, we rolled them. Oh cool, look, we got rolled. It's like the team situations are way too few to not primary play stupid, silly mobs, for me personally. Go play what you want, though. You don't have to play CDF. CDF is a flawed game mode. I totally agree with that. It's just I don't find these team things fun, because nobody plays in a team. I love playing in team, and this is why I will still queue for it. It's just less fun to me. But yeah, Frontier Justice is stupidly strong. If people are dying to your sentry, this thing rolls a pop. Like, seriously. This is the other roll a pop. I don't think the stock shotgun is really a roll the pop kind of weapon, but both the Frontier Justice and the Widowmaker have the capabilities of totally doing that. The Frontier Justice with its immense damage output when your sentry has already fired and killed somebody, which is why it's a bit less reliant in my opinion, and the Widowmaker with its being the Widowmaker and awesome. So let's discuss ranges. Every range works. The Gunslinger is the most effective because of the bonus of mini sentries. The second most effective is Eureka effect for flanking, and then there's the Chad, which is the best one. The Southern Hospitality is the worst because of the flame downside. You might think, well, isn't that kind of mediocre? It is. It's not that big of a downside. But you know, in Battle Engie you tend to run into Pyros more, and normally that's one of your best matchups, because you should be able to, most Pyros aren't this good at movement, so you should be able to shoot them down fairly easily. So that's oftentimes why that's why I consider it a bit of a bad pick, because it just makes a easy matchup harder for yourself. A Pyro can be dangerous though, so don't underestimate them. If a Pyro is smart, has movement, or actually knows how to use a secondary, they can be they can be very dangerous to you. Another reason not to use it in a Battle Engie. The bleeding effect I found somewhat useful when punching somebody like a heavy with it and then comboing them with the shotgun. So take this away with a grain of salt. It can be usable. It's just not perfect though. We kind of have to talk about my least favorite gun, I guess, which would be the Pumpkin 6000 soon. Really don't like it. But first let me once again say that Pyro. Let me specify again. Pyro isn't isn't a strong matchup for a Battle Engie. It's just oftentimes how Pyros play isn't this smart. And they aren't really good at moving. So if you can keep your distance and rely on your weapon, this is you can basically kill him. The pistol, once again, a very useful secondary. We'll get into why it's so important for Battle Engie early on. But this thing looks so stupid. I've never seen it in my hand. Like, I've always said, I don't see how this breaks the art style. Well, now that I see it, look at it. It just looks like it's from another game, and I put the prop from another game into my Engie sense. It looks very silly indeed. The weapon is shit. It does maximum 72 damage at up close, which less damage. Oh, an epic. Good for Battle Engie. I think the effect of Spy losing their cloak is fair and balanced. Every other class gets a counter to their counter. The Spy gets the Bicycle, Sniper gets the Razorback, Sniper also gets the freaking Darwin's Danger Shield, and Spy gets the Dead Ringer, which is basically a counter to every class in the video game. So, you know, in my opinion it's fair. But that's not only that the overcharge mechanic is stupid. Like, who thought of Engie, the backline character, and gave him a weapon that can reduce supercharge rates? Why did they even make a weapon that can reduce supercharge rates, and why is it on Engie and not on any other class? It's probably a good thing, because on any other class it would probably be even more broken. The biggest problem with the palm thing though is that you can't rely on aiming it. I've practiced a lot with it at one point in life because I wanted to do a specific thing, but later on turned out to be stupid anyways. The palm thing is really not good. The time that you could spend even remotely figuring out how to aim your projectile with this thing, you would be better spent doing literally anything else in the video game. Even just being in an idle server like 24 hours would be better than learning how to aim this thing. It's useless. There's no reason ever to use it. It's bad. It's just not worth it. Like I said, unreliable crap. Don't use. Bad weapon would not use. The projectile is probably too slow, and that's why it's so unreliable. So I guess if it was buffed and the projectile would do more damage, it could be useful. And the speed, in first place, the speed would have to be more. And I guess they could also, if it was like a mid-range kind of weapon where you can stay away a bit more, I could see how it could become effective. How it is right now, it's not good. It's really not good. It's bad, believe me. I've tried it. Not good. Don't use. Very bad. I think I wanna talk about either the secondaries or my melees next. I think that would be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, one thing before we go. You know what would be more useful than the Thompson in a Battle Engie state? The freaking Rescue Ranger. I mean, it does only 60 damage, which I'm about to demonstrate, hopefully. But it would be better. Here again, I just want to mention, Thunder Justice, sentry dependent playstyle, Widowmaker, non-sentry dependent playstyle, Shotgun, generally the best one. Which is also the one you should be going for when thinking of a generalist kind of Engie loadout, which would for me personally be a mini sentry, Wrangler, and stock. Probably the most useful ones. But yeah, when thinking of Battle Engie, the freaking Rescue Ranger will probably be more useful than the Thompson 6000, mainly because you can hit the projectile better. I know it doesn't really seem fitting for a Battle Engie, and personally, I don't find it this fitting either. I don't know why you would use this on Battle Engie, it's just kind of bad. I guess you could use it to spam sentries down and down. I mean, the Rescue Ranger is a great weapon. In Hybrid Battle Engie, again, it doesn't really work. It's just kind of the anti... for example, with the check, I like to play Hybrid Engie, and it's something I want to do a Battle Engie, and it's something I want to do a video on soon. But the Rescue Ranger is just kind of the anti-Battle Engie. It's reliant on your sentry gun, really, and yeah, that's just why I don't use it half as much, but it's a great weapon. Let's talk about the Eureka effect, though, which is another dope-ass weapon. The Eureka effect, of course, with its ability to place a dispenser, yes. You can place a dispenser, did you know? Now, you can build a teleporter and then teleport to it without having an entrance. This is really, really useful for Battle Engie. It makes Engie a class who isn't all this mobile, being able to zoom around the map by teleporting, and this is incredibly good for flanking. I would recommend using it with the stock shotgun for a more reliable weapon. But the Widowmaker can work well. Sentries in this playstyle are less a thing, so don't use with the Thunder Justice. You should basically just treat your level 1 sentries as if they were mini sentries. However, the Eureka effect is all sorts of good for just honestly just engineering in general, so you can also use it for that. You don't actually have to play Battle Engie with it to make it good. It's a great range overall. Time to look about my least favorite though. Oh, you can also clutch escape, because I have a video where I hopefully can show that off a bit to you. The most boring one is the panic attack overall. I don't like it a lot. Its only job on Battle Engie is right now to do more damage up close than stock. Like it does 107 damage up close. But like I said, its only real job is to do that. It's shittier at chip shooting, and another good thing about it is I guess it has a fixed spread. But that's cool, no random bullet spread. But yeah, it's just kind of really boring, and I would rather use my stock shotgun. It's less reliant, and then again, it's really similar to the stock shotgun. Because of this, I don't really use it a lot. It's like from farther away, it's worse, and from close, it's better. So it's kind of like because I chip shot a lot. So from my personal pleasure, it just doesn't fit. If you want to bait them with your pistol, or you use your pistol and then go up to them close and shoot them once, it's good. But other than that, you would be better off with the stock shotgun or the Widowmaker or the Frontier Justice. Though to be fair, the Frontier Justice, like I said, more sentry dependent. Let's talk about the pistol though. Battle Engie, in normal Engie gameplay where you have your level 3 sentries and stuff, you're less dependent on a long range weapon. But the pistol has the capability of being exactly that weapon. And you will find in Battle Engie situations way more times where you'll be like, I wish I could just spam like 50 damage across the map with a pistol, with a weapon right now, and that's basically your pistol. Thank you, dog, for giving that input. Why you have to fart like that? It's real gross. Moving on. Yeah, the pistol is pretty effective. It's very useful and has a big part in battle engineering, just because of that long range support. You can use it to bait people, to weaken people, to go up to them close and shoot them. Overall, you can use it when you're out of ammo and you just want to spam. It's a very reliant weapon, so I would recommend using it with risky primaries like the Widowmaker or the Frontier Justice. If you want to have a reliant secondary. This thing, never use it with the Widowmaker because you just drain metal faster. This thing is really good. It's great for supporting your team on payload race, payload maps. Payload race. We even caps on payload race maps. I mean, I guess on Banana Bay. Who even plays payload race seriously? I thought the only thing people play is High Tower in the first place. And I guess Banana Bay is fun. Going on, not on to that tangent though. The thing is really good for helping your teammates fight projectile classes, making escapes, and approaching projectile classes yourself. So or even catching people off guard who are running away. So yeah, it definitely has its uses. It's a good choice for the more laid-back engineer, the battle engineer that uses the stock shotgun or even the panic attack can work for that playstyle actually, and just lets people come to him or relies more on his sentry a bit. It can work really well for that. It can also work with the Frontier Justice to like keep your crits more often and not have to waste them because otherwise you'll close to die. To be fair though, there you kind of just want to slam mini sentries down whenever you can, so it can be a bit of downgrade there. The Wrangler is, I would say, very useful. The biggest use it has is undeniably just being able to destroy sentries as Battle Engie, or overall pick snipe from across the map with a mini sentry. That's very effective in Battle Engie terms, and you can be a big asset to your team doing that. However, there's a second use, and this one is a bit more special, but it's very effective. Let's say a soldier is chasing you. You just meat shot the soldier once, and he shot a pretty good rocket at you. You're at like 30 health. You somehow the soldier hasn't abused splash damage, and you survived, and you got back to your sentry. Whip this thing out and start shooting the hell out of him. Chances he'll panic and go for the sentry, and if he does, he's dead. There's no. You might die as well, but he's probably going to die faster than he can react if he panicked and shot your sentry. This playstyle can easily be, or this move I guess, can easily be countered by just shooting the Engie. So if an Engie tries to do that, just go for the Engineer. The sentry will be stunned for a second and you can easily take it out or run away. But yeah, it can make for some great. The Wrangler can be very helpful for some great escapes. And like I said, never underestimate how useful it is to snipe a sentry gun or even a teammate from afar. Also, I realized that with 110 FOV, you can kind of see Engie's little head there. I don't know if I should go back to 100. It's kind of odd to decide, because the more FOV, the better, and I use no things for the most part, anyways. The Gunslinger, by the way, I should probably mention as well for a second that the Gunslinger is really, really, really good. It enables Battle Engie for the most part with its more health and mini sentries. The Widowmaker in my eyes is the second gun who just really deals a gigantic thing there, but you know, it's a big importance to the playstyle. But it's just not everything. The playstyle can be used without the Gunslinger, but the Gunslinger enables it the most. Here I want to talk about scripts that you can get, or overall settings to make your life easier. Go to the Uncle Dane video, show him some love in front of Justice One. Overall, if you want to see other videos about the weapons, we've also really good views on it and really good opinions on it, and overall just very interesting looks at it. Go to Uncle Dane's channel, he has some great videos. I feel silly calling him out because everyone already knows who Uncle Dane is in the first place. But yeah, at the bind he has in the front there Justice video, which is also a great guide to how not and how to use the weapon. It's basically you click your mouse wheel and it destroys and builds a new sentry gun, and this is a must get for mini sentry in Battle Engineers, believe me, it's way easier. Then you need to get a good FOV. Like, Battle Engie to me is fun because it's a class not really meant for fragging that you're trying to frag with, or basically you're trying to completely change how a class is supposed to be played. So give yourself any technical advantages and any advantages that you can take. For example, a higher FOV, better frame rate. I would probably, if you have a crap top or your game has inconsistent frame rate, get a comic. I didn't buy myself for a long time that they were good. Doc, can you stop? Like, seriously. You come here and you just, never mind. And yeah, the comics are really good. I didn't buy myself for a long time that they're really good. But they make the game run way smoother. They help me a lot with the FOV. And then the last thing is turn your view models off. It increases your aim so significantly in my eyes. If you just want to play the game more silly and you don't really care about whiffing shots, then hey, you don't have to. You like the view model of your shotgun, I can understand that. I kinda miss it sometimes, go do that. But if you really want to get better at aiming, I would really just turn them off. Like, even without much practice, you already see some improvement there, and if you put it to practice, at the start it might feel weird, and you're just gonna love it. I think that has been it for this video, though. I really hope we can make another one on Sniper with Dogmeat next, because he's the Sniper main, you know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See ya.